So, okay, that's a lot of talk. Let's jump into this quarterback duo. So just taking a peek at this, I've got one clip, and then we'll get into kind of the rules of how we install it, some of the base rules, and then more clips after that. But just to set the stage of kind of what we're doing here, we do treat this like a gap scheme. So we're running duo to the right here, quarterback duo. We got our play side double team working to this middle backer who's running through right down the hash, late snap off. Our tight ends working to the first thing, play side of that linebacker, and then the running back ultimately responsible for an inside out fit on the next player outside. So I don't love the fit necessarily by the back, not quite as physical as we would want. We want him landing near foot, near shoulder, just like a fullback kicking out on open side power. Our quarterback's aiming point's a little loose here, but ultimately this is why you love the play. Like whatever the down and distance is here, but we're on the 1 yard line on the goal line here, and this is really difficult for a defense. Ultimately, we get back to the original aiming point and we get into the end zone. So moving on, talking about kind of the diagram, the rules, and then we'll get back into some more clips. But for us, downhill vertical gap scheme without a puller. The objective of this play for us is violence at the point of attack. Allow the guys to turn their brains off and just go. Play physical, dominate up front. Take level 1 to level 2, put D linemen in the laps of linebackers, create those double teams, create the angles that we're looking for, and then we add that extra lead blocker from the backfield. Ultimately we use a point system. I know guys use a count system, different things. This is just what we do. So we're going to point in a 4 down front, the first backer play side. Anything to the play side of that becomes a positive number. Anything backside of that becomes a negative number. We'll talk about those rules here. So across the board, our duo rules, quarterback duo rules, talking quarterback and running back, they're going to execute an inside zone mesh when the back is coming from play side. The quarterback's aiming point is going to be the play side guard's butt. And then his eyes are ultimately on the point backer. So as he's coming through the mesh, attacking the play side guard's butt, he is reading that point backer on what direction he's going. Once the point backer tells him his read, he then proceeds through the line of scrimmage and executes his secondary read from there. Running back coming through the mesh with inside zone footwork, looking to J path through the mesh to get to +2. There are some times where the defense will, move play side, overplay to the play side, and the back will actually insert and not end up blocking +2 just based off of defensive movement. Backs absolutely cannot be robots. They got to almost execute it as if they were the ball carrier. And then getting to the O-line, play side tackle, responsible for B gap to the point, play side guard, responsible for play side A gap to the point, most times being able to create some sort of combination on that play side. Center, backside A gap to our -1 player, backside guard, backside tackle, B gap, C gap to -1. And then we love this out of 12 personnel. We can run it out of 11. We can actually run it out of 10 personnel and 13 personnel as well. We'll get to a couple clips of that. But our anchor wide tight end is play side C gap to the point, and then most often creating a combination with the play side tackle or the off the ball tight end to our +1 player. And then our wing tight end, play side D gap to +1. There are absolutely adjustments to this and deeper rules, but just in terms of a basic install, this is what it looks like. Okay, a couple drawings here. If we start off in the top left here, 4 down front, with the Sam backer walked up. Our Mike is going to be the point. Sam becomes +1. The rover here becomes +2 as the kind of least dangerous between these two guys. And then the first thing backside of that point backer is -1. Starting off backside tackle responsible for C gap, backside guard responsible for B gap to -1. He's got nothing in his B gap, so he creates a combination here with our center working up to -1, ultimately trying to get the center to climb to protect that aiming point that we were talking about of the play side guard's butt. Play side guard is A gap to the point. No A gap player you can borrow from the outside. Create a combination here. Good vertical heavy double team. Be late to this backer. If he screams down, we want to be late and ear hold this guy. Run him down the line of scrimmage. Play side tackle, B gap to the point. Creating a combination here with the guard. The tight end here, we are C gap to the point. We have a six technique, so ultimately we're going to own this. And then with +1 up on the ball, no combination here between the tight ends. The F here just J Pats and owns that. Running back comes through the mesh and he is working to +2. Okay, moving on to the top right picture here. Similar picture. Now we've got +1 back off the ball, backside creating similar combinations, play side getting the good vertical heavy double team between the guard and the tackle. Now our tight ends here creating a combination 2+1. And based on formation, based off of game plan, we can determine and work with the tight ends and the running back on who is the more dangerous player between the rover in this picture, the corner in this picture. Who do we want the back blocking? Ultimately, we would prefer the back is blocking the skinnier of the two, the least dangerous of the two, who we would put as the corner in this picture. Getting to the bottom left, bear. Here we're working backside, C gap, B gap. Center has no A gap. He can borrow, create a combination with the play side guard, working to -1 in this picture. Play side tackle, borrowing the tight end, creating that double team to the point. The F here, digging out the D gap. And then in bear, we don't actually get to a +2 because +1 is technically down on the ball. But +1 here, the running back working 2 in this picture. And here's just another example of a 4 down front. I think we've talked enough about those. We can move on and watch some more clips. Okay, so this is a 12 personnel bunch variation with a receiver added in here. Number 7, this is a different back set than we watched earlier. So we're able to either bring him from the play side or bring him across the formation, across the center's midline here. So a little too loose from the back here. Like if we're truly teaching him, +2, but be the ball carrier, would love to see him get vertical behind the play side tackles block here and lead us up and through that C to D gap there. But ultimately, great job by the play side tackle to create displacement. He U-turns on that backer, which we absolutely love. And then we're finishing guys down the field. Okay, this is I think a really good clip in terms of aiming point discipline. Like this is a 3rd and short situation here. 12 personnel. We're swiping in this one. So we've got a play side tight end and then a backside tight end who's actually going to swipe across the formation here. Number 87. It's not the sexiest thing, but we're sifting through with number 44. And then 87 coming across. Would love to see him get a little bit tighter here so he's not getting spilled. But a really good job by the back to force it up and through. Really good job by the quarterback here in his aiming point to get the ball vertical and go get us the 1 to 2 yards that we need in these short situations. Okay, this is a 13 personnel variation here, and another one where we're bringing the back across the formation here. And a lot of teams with the quarterback run game that we use, they'll put a safety, either dead on the quarterback or have him relate to wherever the back is going, which is, what you see here from number 32 on the defense, that safety. But to slow it down a little bit, and a 4 down front here, number 6 would be our point. So we're trying to get our play side double team there. Backside, we're 3 for 3. We're working here. Here's our defensive end, +1, +2, and then +3 is actually off the screen here. When you add in that 3rd tight end, +3 becomes involved. So this is a good example here of our play side tackle snapping off late. Ear hole in number 6 as he runs through. Good job by the tight ends creating the wall. Everybody's really getting washed down here. And then ultimately, they got to make a space tackle here with a safety who's 5 to 7 yards off the football in a 3rd and 2, 4th and 1 type situation, which is very difficult to do. Okay, this is a great look against pressure. So we're going to get kind of we call it wheel cross, a cross pressure to the play side here. So we're going to get this action and then this backer looping around over here. Thought this is a good job overall of the O-line of covering it up, not allowing any leakage, but really good job by the tight ends and the backs to fit it properly. So this is a good job by our play side guard, our left guard. He's triggering back with that long stick away from him, just trying to make contact with the penetrator here. The whole thing gets balled up. Good job by 82 here, our wing tight end. If you just get eyes on him, rolling this dude off the football. And I mean, shoot, the game is easy when you got guys that can do that. So I don't take that for granted. But another instance of us bringing them back across the formation. He fits inside out, allows our quarterback to get vertical. Uh, really, really good run play here. Okay, here's a good example. This is 11 personnel, another third and short situation of our quarterback reading the point. So in this picture here, we've got 21 as the point. So our play side double team will be working there. Quarterback should be reading number 21 to determine where he's going as his first read. And so sees him kind of flow. He's thinking, hit this thing, play side. Backer plays over the top. He ends up winding this thing back into the backside. On 3rd and 1, it's a great job by him. Great job by the guys up front to be able to go get this. Okay, this is a 13 or 22 variation. In fact, this was to go win the game in 2023. So guys are really dug in here and really excited after we go get this one. But here we've got 15 as our point, +1 up on the ball here, +2, +3 for our fullback and running back coming from the backfield. So we can take a look at this one. Okay, really good job by play side tackle, just that late snap off to get a piece as he gets run through, gets spun out on. But then great job by our fullback and our running back leading from the backfield. You got to have guys that are at the running back position that are bought into blocking and similar to being a receiver, you got to block to get the rock. Our guys at Eastern were bought into that, and I mean this is a hell of a play by our running back coming from the backfield and to go get it on 3rd and short to win the game. Pretty dang cool. Okay, this is another 13 personnel variation. So we're running quarterback duo over here to the left. We've got this bunch set here with our tight ends. Another good example of our quarterback reading that point. So his eyes are on number 8 there is the middle backer. He sees that guy kind of play backside. And even more than that, he probably just he feels this thing really open up to the backside. I think our center, right guard, right tackle are doing a good job of opening that up. And then a really good job by our left guard of just U-turning, wheeling against that point backer. When defenses overplay this stuff, it opens up that backside cutback and allows us to get the ball vertical. This is a unique, little tweak or variation to what we're doing. So this is just 12 personnel, quarterback duo. But what we're doing here is we end up arcing our tight ends and then kicking with our running back. So kind of an arc kick scheme on the play side here. This is pretty good for when safeties are tracking that back, which Weber, this defense was doing against us late in the game here. And so you can see everywhere else, it's exactly the same. 6 is run downhill as our point backer, play side tackle collecting him. Our tight ends are arc releasing to go collect +1 and +2. And now our running back is kicking out that play side defensive end. A little loose with our quarterback on the aiming point here, but ultimately we get what we want. Good kick out by the back. And you can see 32, he's tracking that back. He thinks he's going outside, overplays it and allows us to get the ball vertical. Here's another swipe variation, 13 personnel. So we've got our 2 tight ends over here, and then we're going to bring this piece back from backside to play side. So we're getting our double teams here against kind of this double eagle structure, out to 4 to 0 to 23, working here, bringing a guy back and leading the back up and through. We lose the back here, unfortunately, so we give up a little bit of penetration at the wing here. But ultimately, you can see what we're trying to do. Zero does a pretty good job of playing over the top. Our right guard should just be bumping the hip and then climbing to collect him with how low he is here. So they gain a hat back right there, but just a different variation that I wanted to show you guys. Okay, this is a really good job against pressure here. Play side, they're bringing a little, cross blitz, moving the nose, play side. Good job of our left tackle, the play side tackle, snapping off a double team with the tight end to now connect on this long stick coming from the nose. Good job by the left guard to not allow penetration, lean back into this. And this is another one of those 13 personnel swipe variations. So we're working vertical, we're leading back and kicking out, and then ultimately the back is extra here against this three high structure. This guy ends up being the guy that the back should land on in this picture. They end up kind of sneaking a backer over the top there that we can't get to. Great job by the back to make it right. Ultimately, a successful run. Okay, this is another good example of against pressure here. So we're getting another play side cross blitz. It's a heck of a job by our center sneaking through these two DTs to get backside to the -1 backer. Really good job by our play side tackle right here to be able to lean back and collect number 7. Great job by our anchor tight end to be able to stay on his rail, land on 52, and then ultimately the back makes it right. We exchange them, pizza theory, and the back does a good job to make it right. Okay, I think we've watched enough of these. See if there's anything else here. Okay, here's a look at Bears since we haven't talked about those yet. Against Bear, like there's some schemes that are going to be good, some schemes that aren't going to be great. And so one thing that we know is generally against Bear, we're going to have a hard time getting that ball downhill through the A gap. And so one thing that we teach at the play side tackle is really creating this wash, demolishing this edge, flattening this off so that we can get the ball outside to the C gap. And this is a hell of a job by the right tackle here against a really good defense, a great defender, getting underneath his pads and being able to really get that ball out there. We give up a little penetration at the wing here, which forces the ball a little wider than it needs to be. We got a wing, our other tight end who's, falling down a little bit, loose base. But heck of a job there by the play side